Welcome to another video. I'm going to start this one off by fitting this aircon hose I got a couple of videos ago to the Evo that has been missing this aircon hose since I bought the car 2 years ago. Mainly I want to fit it just to get it out of the way. I hate crap sitting around. Not really because I need aircon because it's winter here at the moment. But the reason this never had a hose on it, well it actually did, but because it had an aftermarket manifold on it that was sort of like this, and the line runs across the front here, it melted straight through the center, and so it was in two pieces, so I just got rid of it, had these blocked, and it's just never had the hose on there because I've never been able to find one. But now I have one. I'm gonna put some new O-rings on the end, which I have here, and fit this thing up, and hopefully this one doesn't melt. And there we go, the ugly stock aircon hose back on for the first time since I've owned this car. Now all I gotta do is regas it and we should have some aircon. You know how there's just some stuff on your car that you put off and put off and put off and really avoid doing, and it just comes to the point where you just gotta do it? Well, that's one of those jobs today. So something I've needed to do since buying this car. It's always had noisy front wheel bearing. Well, it sounds like fronts. I'm hoping it's fronts. If it's not fronts, I'm going to do rears, and if it's not rears it's making the noise, I'm shitting myself because I hope it's not the diff, because a diff in these is really expensive. But sounds like it's coming from front left, so I'm just going to do both fronts. Not that expensive, I just really can't be bothered doing them. But for anyone interested, these are front wheel hub assemblies to suit Evo 6. This is the company, and this is the part number for anyone who wants to grab some. So they come as a full assembly, like so not just a wheel bearing by itself, so new studs, hub, bearing, all that stuff. And not that expensive. I think they're about 350 bucks delivered for both, and you get a nice shiny new part out of it, which is good. So I'm gonna jack this thing up and start to tackle this. I might get stuck because I think I'm gonna need someone to stand on the brakes while I undo the big nut for the front drive shafts, but I'll see how we go because I'm home alone at the moment. And now that I have this wheel off, I realise how badly I need a new guard liner on this side. That's all worn away. It's also split all up through here, and it's got a nice big hole here. Oh. And a clip just popped out. I did buy the other side brand new as it was missing when I bought this car, and they were very cheap then. It seems the Evo stuff is slowly going up very recently, because when I bought the other side it was about 150 bucks brand new with all the clips and everything to mount it, and now I've seen them for 900 a pair. So I don't know, do I just bite the bullet and get a brand new one expensive, or do I wait, maybe they come down or maybe they go higher, who knows, I don't know. I have been caught out before by waiting, so we'll see. So it's actually a week after I started this video because I went to do the wheel bearings on this car and I thought these were 36mm nuts on the front for the drive shafts. They're actually 32, a socket that I didn't have. I couldn't be bothered going to get it, so I just waited. I grabbed one from work and now I have a 32 socket. The problem still is there's no one here to hold the wheel while I undo that center nut. So what I've had to do is pop the split pin out, put the wheel back on, let it down, and I'm gonna have to undo the nut between the wheel. Hopefully the socket fits actually. All right, good. And crack the nut and then jack it back up again. Very annoying. Kidding. And it took 60 kilos. Now I can jack it back up. So from what I've been told from a mate that just did these fronts recently on his Evo, the easiest way is undo coilovers, sway bar link, obviously calipers and disc off, and you should be able to pull the knuckle or drop it left and down enough to slide the shaft out the back, and then you've got all the room behind to pull the full hub off the front. So let's see if his theory is correct. Alright, so easiest thing is these two bolts for sway bar with the whole bracket comes off, so this can drop. Undo the bottom of the coilover so this can drop forward and to the left. Also take this dust shield off because you're going to end up slicing your fingers. And then you can stand on this whole assembly and pull the shaft out from the back. It was actually very hard to come out because it's all rusty and shit. Always grease these things when you're sliding them back in so that next time they slide back out. And then all it is these 4 17mm bolts here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this front hub assembly should come off. And we can chuck the new one on. It's actually pretty simple. Well, we're halfway, so never know what problems you can run into. If there's one piece of advice I can give people doing this is these bolts that hold the hub in, which are these 17mm here, CRC or wire brush the bit that's sticking out the back, because after however many years, these have probably never been changed by the looks of them. You know, nearly 25 years old, this car. So 25 years of road grime on this last bit of thread. When you try undo it and pull it back through the hub, it gets tight very, very quickly. So I'd say clean them, CRC them, let them sit, and they should be a lot easier to get out than what I've just been experiencing. These are nice and seized into the knuckle. If it wasn't 9:30 in the morning, I'd be having a beer right now. But after smashing the absolute shit out of the back of this is how far we've got. And even with a chisel between prying it, I cannot get this off. So another suggestion, soak the whole area there in CRC before you try this. Oh my God. No wonder it wouldn't come off. Look at that. So I'm really gonna need to clean good in here so that the new one slips right in without any dramas. Always make sure your new part is the same as the old one. It's nothing worse than pulling a whole car apart and the part you got is wrong. These look the same. So there we go, new hub and wheel bearing all in and tightened up. It went back together way easier than it came apart. So now just quickly chuck this side all back together. Hopefully this slides back in nice and easy. I might wire brush that. And I've just noticed that this really needs some pads. So I better get onto that next. I'm gonna give them a bit of a clean on the back. That's actually disgusting. Actually, this whole car needs probably put up on jack stands with all the wheels off and go under it again like I did when I first bought the car, because I've driven it a bit, has been driven in the rain, so it's gotten a bit dirty underneath again. And we are all done. Nice and clean. Just drop it down, do this nut up on the floor with the wheel on through the center of the wheel again. And then, unfortunately, because of the single car garage life, pull this out, turn it around so I can do the other side, pull this back in, do that wheel bearing, pull this back out, take this for a drive to make sure it's all good and the noise is gone, pull this back in, pull this back in, and we're good. Now, I'm no mechanic by any means, so I do make mistakes, and I'm happy to show them. I went to tighten this nut up and I thought, what the hell's going on here? Because when you put a split pin in, it should sit between the little gaps in the castle nut, because if it doesn't, then it defeats the purpose of having a split pin there. I measured the old hub, I measured the other spare new hub that I have. Like, what the hell's going on here? Are these actually the same when I measure them? They are. Well, it helps if you put the washer in between the hub and the castle nut first. So I gotta pull this back off, slip this washer back in. I can do that up tight on the ground. Idiot. Alright, the easiest solution is to just leave the van out the front, do the Evo in here, take it for a drive, and then put both back in. It's a hard life, this single car garage life. And I'm sure you guys don't want to see me do the exact same thing on the other side, so I'm just going to time lapse this side, and then we'll go for a drive and make sure this noise is gone. Jesus. That went all the way out the back of the car. Oh my God. Just as bad as the other side. And there we go. So about an hour and a half one side and probably 20 minutes this side. Whew. So just nip these up, put the split pins back in, and we'll see if this has fixed my front end noise going wah, 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 wah. No matter how many things I do to cars, when it's something serious, you know, like steering, brakes, engine, stuff like that, it's always nerve-wracking on the first drive. Wondering if something's gonna fall off that you've touched, or there's a noise, or anyway, no noises yet. Alright, so I'm confident in saying that was the noise in the front wheel bearings. Noise is gone, no more wah, 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 like there's an ambulance behind you. But it is pulling to the left now, so I don't know what the go is there. I didn't touch anything steering related, so I might get an alignment anyway. I haven't got alignment since buying this car, and it has been lowered, raised when I got defected, lowered again, so it's probably a bit out of whack, but anyway. This could be the end of this video. It's still pretty early in the week before I post this, so if anything else pops up, then I will slam it on the end of this video, and if not, I will see you guys next week.